Hi, I'm Natalie Messler, and today we are here with Kyle Dynes with Moto Mortgage, and we are talking about the do's and the don'ts.
Please don't.
When buying a home. Yeah, please don't.
So I'm just going to briefly run down through a lot that I see every day. When I'm doing a pre-approval, I'm looking at credit to figure out their liabilities, to figure out what their income will allow them to be approved for. Okay. So I'm looking at credit cards, car loans, student loans, car payments, anything that shows up as a liability on credit.
And should they have these pre-approvals before they go look at
houses?
Way
before.
Good
because idea. The trick with this is you can fall in love with the house and never be able to afford it. Mm-hmm. And that's already putting your home buying in a bad spot, and you're going to be frustrated and sad. But the do's and don'ts. After I pull credit, I'm going to tell you, Natalie, do not open any more debt. I know that Best Buy has these TVs on sale, but now that I've pulled your credit and it is an underwriting, guess what happens? The minute you pull that credit at Best Buy, the underwriter is going to call me. Hey, Natalie just pulled credit at Best Buy.
But Old Navy doesn't count, right? So when they offer me an additional 20%, I can just get that credit card, right?
Any credit.
Okay, and don't go there then.
And the reason why is because let's say all your current liabilities divided by your income, you're pre-approved for 400. But let's say you open that Best Buy card and you put $5,000 on it, that increases your debt to income ratio, so that 400 may go down. A huge one is the cars.
Oh yes.
The cars. And always look on credit. Hey, I just saw that you opened this car. It's a lease. What is your plan with this car? Well, I get a new car every year.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, well, please do me a favor. Don't do anything until you close and have the keys.
Yeah.
Why? Because what happens is now you've opened a new debt. And now I have to not only trace that your current car was paid in full in a zero balance, but I also have to show that your new payment has cycled and you've made one payment. So instead of closing on time, now you've thrown a wrench into this, and we're asking for an extension, which isn't good.
Don't want to ask for those.
I don't want to ask for those.
Nope.
You don't want to ask for those.
I don't.
So basically the pre-approval process, I'm going through with your client. Hey, listen, this is where you are. And I tell people, do me a favor, eat ramen noodles. Don't touch your bank account.
Yeah.
Don't pull your credit. Whatever you do, don't move money around. I see this every time. I got your savings account statement and it's got 10 grand in it. I get your checking account savings or your checking account statement and there's 2 grand in it. Guess what? We're already almost to close and you transfer 6,000 to your checking.
Yes.
That opens up another can of worms because now I have to trace from your most recent bank statement through today's date by a transaction history to show that money went from your savings to your checking. Well, why do they want to know that? Well, because any untraceable fund is not able to be used in a real estate transaction.
Okay.
See, the $20,000 was deposited in cash 2 weeks ago. Where did this money come from? Well, I had it in my mattress.
That's a pretty nice mattress.
Well, I can't use that money. What do you mean it's my money? Well, it's untraceable funds. I can't tell if it came from a paycheck. I can't tell if it was a gift. Well, how do we get around it? Well, do you have a parent that has 20 grand in their account? Yeah. Okay, well now we have to fill out a gift letter. Your parents gift you that 20 grand, and at closing, you give them that money back. So there's just so many angles that these buyers can go and hoops and valleys they can go into.
Yeah.
Just to go through one thing that I've noticed on a don't that we just went through last month, 2 days before closing, I had a lender call. Hey, there was a credit pull for Krieger Ford or wherever it was. I call the buyer. Eric, did you open a debt? He said, yeah, I got a new car.
Oh.
Okay. What's your payment? $700. Okay. Eric, guess what? You're going to live in that car now.
Yep.
What do you mean? Well, remember at application when I said this house is your maximum that you can afford with your income? Now your previous car payment was $400. Now we've added $300 more to your debt to income. You don't qualify.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get out of this? Well, luckily you're working with me. I always have answers. They might not be the best.
Don't let your
Don't
lender
do
tell
this.
you to just walk away. Work with a lender that always has solutions. Kyle here always has a solution.
So
to
the
problem.
solution was, hey, can your parents take over this car? What do you mean? Well, call your lender and say, how do we refinance this car from my name to my parents' name? We did have to extend the contract 15 days. His mom actually bought the car.
Was it a nice car?
Refinanced. Super
I mean,
nice,
$700 a month.
Super nice
Better
car.
be a nice car.
Everybody wants to drive nice cars.
Of course.
But luckily we had an out in that scenario. And that's the other thing with Motto is we're more of an outside the box because you have to be. I mean, this market's not only fast, but it's competitive. And you always have to be thinking, how do we get out of this?
Yeah.
How do we make this happen? How do we make this work? And is it going to work every time? No. But the do's and don'ts are the biggest thing that can ruin a transaction.
Absolutely.
And you, as a buyer, you just have to be committed to, hey, 3 weeks, I'm eating ramen noodles, I'm not spending any money, and I'm using my mattress cash to get me through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple, especially working with their team, our team. We're going to be telling you this all up front through the process and just making sure as a buyer, you know this, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to know it.
Right.
You know, you're relying on us as the professional to get you to that closing table. And that's my commitment and that's their commitment, both sides. And when you have 2 teams working together, it's amazing and seamless. But you just got to follow us. Just listen to us, follow the direction, and we'll get you to the closing table.
We will, absolutely. Well, thank you from myself and from Kyle
Absolutely.
for
Thank
joining
you.
in today. Click the link below. Make sure that you give us both a follow and a like. We'll have more information as we post these videos every Thursday for our lender series. And we thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend. Bye-bye.